Well, let me compliment you, David, on an excellent answer to Christopher's ham-fisted question. But if we're going to talk about leadership, the thing that I really want to ask you is, at the ball, I noticed that you are no longer the president of the Parliamentary Press Gallery, and that has now been taken over by Andrew Mears. Now, is this the result of some ugly coup, or is there a backroom deal that's given rise to this change in power?
Look, I can tell how closely you obviously obsess about this. It happened last year, in fact, and after 3 consecutive years as Press Gallery president, unopposed each year, nobody else wanted the job. It doesn't come with a huge amount of glory or kudos. Then my loyal vice president, Andrew Mears, was, you could say, was within my cabinet, a very stable administration that we ran at the Press Gallery for those 3 years. But then obviously something happened. That's what they all say. That's what they all say, David. But I heard that you got the knock on the door in the middle of the night from a Press Gallery death squad, just like poor Kevin Rudd all those years ago. They may or may not have had faces. There was a faceless group who told me my time was up, and I fell on my sword. I couldn't argue with the succession plan. You went quietly. I went quietly, and now I just offer humble advice, you know, when I feel it's necessary to help Andrew Mears, in his stewardship of the Press Gallery.
And just finally, David, this week, just to add to everything that's occurred in the Parliament, was the Midwinter Ball, adjourned from earlier in the year, which is a great fundraiser, but is the kind of big gala event of the parliamentary calendar. I'm wanting to ask you how you thought it went, and I thought you might have been just a little upstaged by my co-host, who did a very good impression of President Underwood.
Look, I couldn't possibly comment because the entire thing is off the record, Richard Marles. It's meant to be like Cabinet, meant to be, I should stress, because Cabinet isn't always confidential, but we keep things watertight, and anyone who goes there is not meant to talk about it. All I will say, we raised a hell of a lot of good money for good charities, $345,000 this year. Let me give them a plug. Orange Sky, you might have heard of them. They help homeless people with washing and showering, and that's a great team here in Canberra as well. The Indigenous Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, the Big Issue magazine as well. So, look, a big thanks, not just to the Press Gallery, but all the politicians, everyone who kicked in, including Christopher Pyne, in making it a huge success on the night.
Well, thank you, David, for joining us this afternoon. And, of course, the events...
Anytime. I can't believe you haven't invited me on until now.
Oh, we've been inviting you on for months, but you have been running scared.
You've been running scared. You thought we'd gong you off like Red Simons.
Well, I've managed to survive with my career intact, so I'll chalk it up as a partial victory.
This time. There'll be another time.
Well, we certainly appreciate... We certainly appreciate having you on, but I have to wind it up because we're being told we need to move on.
Don't and that mess brings with that studio crew. Thanks, guys.
You've got to go, David. You can't keep talking. Okay. What are you doing? You're wrecking the show.
I'm going.
Okay, we're losing.